You are listening to the Critical Mass Radio Show, Orange County's business talk show, focused on exploring topics of interest to CEOs who are leading middle market companies. With your host, Richard Franzi.
Welcome to today's episode of Critical Mass Radio Show. I am your host, Rick Franzi. Ash Kumra is our guest today, and he is the co-founder of DreamItAlive.com. This show is brought to you by our advertisers, Center Club, Community Bank, Decision Toolbox, Executives Unlimited, MBN Design, S&H Rubber, Strategic Market Intelligence, Sunup Group, T & Company, Tone Software, Turn Up the Volume, and UPS Protection. The goal for this show is to help you, our listening audience of CEOs who are running middle market firms, to improve your decision-making skills. To connect with me on LinkedIn, I'm Richard Franzi, F-R-A-N-Z-I. CEO Peer Groups is my Twitter handle. And on your favorite podcasting software, type in these words, Critical Mass Radio Show, and then you'll get our automatic updates of our weekly shows brought right to your desk. We interview thought leaders and peer executives who have knowledge that you can learn from. So, Ash, welcome to the program.
Hey, happy to be here. By the way, who isn't sponsoring you? It's amazing how many sponsors you have.
And we're always looking for more. Thank you for paying attention.
Always be closing. I love your mentality.
ABC, baby. Alec Baldwin. I love that guy. All right, so it's not here to talk about me. Let's talk about you.
Sure.
Ash, what do you think of me?
Well, I already commented on your tie, man.
I'm just kidding.
You're a stylish guy.
I love that line from Bette Midler in the movie Beaches. But anyway, let's talk about your firm. Tell me what DreamItAlive.com does, what makes it different, why clients choose your service. Tell me a little bit about your vision.
Sure. Well, thank you again for having me on the show. DreamItAlive.com is an online community where you can create, share, and promote your dreams and goals. You see, right now, a lot of people, whether you're a student, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a business owner, whether you are a nonprofit individual, any type of person in the world has dreams and goals. The thing is that do you actually know specific dreams and goals that you can put down, visualize every day, share those dreams with other people, get support, whether it's money, contacts, paid forward resources, and also read helpful content to make those dreams come alive. We provide all of that. So we are the largest online community for what is called Dreamboards, which is a pictorial collage of visual representations of all the things that you want in your life. Very simple, from what is your dream love life, what is your dream wealth life, what kind of health do you want, how do you want to be remembered in this life, what is your health. We've identified 10 areas of your life. We put it on this visual dream board. You get to share it with others or keep it private, and then sky's the limit.
I really believe in this concept. As you were talking, I'm imagining your tools and your site, and I'm thinking when I first started in Southern California business in 1981, I was selling photocopiers, and at my little desk, I put up a photo of a really, what I thought was a very nice house that was my vision board, my vision picture of what I was going to get from the hard work that I put into selling photocopiers. So I go way back with this concept, and I'm sure there are many in our audience who go back even further, especially athletes.
Yes.
Right? This idea
Michael
of
Phelps.
Visioning the future is very powerful. I've had, in the CEO peer groups that I lead, I've had psychologists come in and talk about how the brain can't really differentiate a well-thought-out vision from actual fact and reality. And so you begin to program yourself for success. So I don't want to steal your thunder, but I think this idea of DreamItAlive.com is a very exciting one. I'm excited that you're here on our radio show. Ash Kumra is our guest, and he's the co-founder of DreamItAlive.com. How did you get into this space?
Well, like many people, I started off reading self-help books. And clearly the movie that impacted me the most was The Secret. And The Secret, they talked about at the time what a dream board was. You talk about the house example. John Assaraf in that movie talked about, I visualized this house, and then one day I was living in that house, and I opened up my old dream board in the, attic, and I was crying there with my kid. And I'm not going to lie, that kind of had an impact on me.
Good. I'm glad you're in touch with that side of yourself.
One of the things that I really believe in that's tied with DreamItAlive.com is the whole idea of surrounding yourself with like-minded people, or I call it law of attraction. So I had reached a certain level of success. 2010, I got an award from the White House. I was recognized as one of the top 100 entrepreneurs making an impact for our country at the time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And actually the success scared me because I kind of, at the time I was doing entrepreneurship, making money, doing things, but I don't know if it necessarily was all about the real reasons of giving back. It was more for vanity goals, about making money, about looking good reputation-wise.
Did you have a nice car?
Yeah, I did. Okay. And I still have a nice car.
Okay,
There's nothing wrong with enjoying and treating yourself. But the point is that I wanted to do something very meaningful for the world. I wanted to do something that could not only make money, but also help the world simultaneously. And and using the law of attraction, I kind of meditated. I kind of visualized, okay, who are some people that can help me with this? I connected with one of the most creative people I know. One of my co-founders for DreamItAlive. She actually came to me with this idea. She used this pitch. She's like, you see this big vision board that you hang on your wall? Yeah. How do I know your dreams and goals unless you visit me?
Take a picture of it.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Or let's say you're my mentor. Am I going to carry this big vision board to Starbucks? So she's like, hey, what if we created a digital version of a dream board? And not only make it digital, but also make it with specific intentions that you can have around different dreams. You can share it. You can make it interactive. You can have it on your computer. You can have it on your iPod. And guess what? Let's build a whole social network around it. So that was
a community of people.
Yeah,
this like-minded idea of yours.
So when I say we have the largest community of Dreamboard users, it's because it's a community-based platform. It's not just the digital Dreamboard, which is free, by the way. It's also connecting with like-minded dreamers.
So I'm talking with Ash Kumra. He is co-founder of DreamItAlive.com. What's the revenue model?
So right now we have two models. One is a sponsorship model. So we have Microsoft as a sponsor, TriNet. We've had a sponsorship partnership with Chicken Soup for the Soul author Jack Canfield through some affiliate revenues. And most recently, so we're taking it to a whole new level. We're a very innovative company. I got to credit my team. We now have the ability for you to get that dream board that you create online sent to your house and hung on your wall.
Really?
Yeah. But think about it. It's the online profile that you create.
Yeah.
And now you can purchase
you can
that.
Have it if you
and
want
you can literally have it on your wall. So now you can visualize and work on your dreams 24/7, whether it's online on DreamItAlive.com or offline on your wall. And we call it Dreamboard wall art.
Wow. Okay, excellent. Well, I really believe in this concept. I think it's interesting that we're going to have this conversation. What was your background? We've got about 2 minutes, my engineer just told me. So give me your background and the highlights in 2 minutes.
Yeah, serial entrepreneur. Got my feet wet in digital media. I co-founded a successful online marketing firm that did production content work, marketing Hollywood and Bollywood films. I helped market Slumdog Millionaire out here. That helped, the film that won the Oscars.
I've heard
and I did other ethnic content. And then I'm also a best-selling author. I've written 2 books on entrepreneurship.
Wow, that's a lot to get in 2 minutes. You did a good job.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to take our first commercial break here on Critical Mass Radio Show. Ash Kumra is our guest, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk more about the idea of DreamItAlive.com. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Back after these words from our sponsors.
Successfully navigating the changing world of public relations and digital marketing requires an experienced, tenacious, yet gracious team. In business for more than 20 years, Orange County-based T & Company delivers big agency results with personalized service. For more information, call us at 714-536-8407 or visit us online at tandco.me.
Richard Franzi is the author of 2 popular business books for CEOs. His first book, Critical Mass, The 10 Explosive Powers of CEO Peer Groups, was the first book ever written on the secret value of CEO peer groups. His second book, now with newly updated information, is Critical Mass, The Power of CEO Guiding Principles. Richard's books contain powerful information to help CEOs running middle-market companies gain valuable insight to improve their decision-making skills. Richard's books are available as paperbacks or Kindle versions from Amazon.com. To find them, type Richard Franzi in the search box.
Are you ready to tap into the power of social media to promote your business? It's easy to get social with Turn Up the Volume, the award-winning social media marketing professionals who know how to get results. Drive web traffic, boost sales. Get social today. Visit www.turnupthevolume.com. That's turnupthevolume.com.
And welcome back to this edition of Critical Mass Radio Show. Ash Kumra is our guest, and he's the co-founder of DreamItAlive.com. I'd like to thank and acknowledge our listeners who download our radio show as a podcast. You've downloaded over 17,000 episodes during the last month. We here at the program appreciate your continued and growing support. All of our shows can be heard anytime from iTunes, Stitcher.com, Spreaker.com, literally several hundred former guests' websites whose businesses have put their interview up on their website, as well as other business-oriented podcasting services. So I have to ask you, did you use a vision board in your earlier parts of your career to achieve the kind of success that you've achieved?
Yes. It was a form of it. So before I got connected with my co-founders and did DreamItAlive, I was doing more of written dreams and goals. And that was the reason why I was looking for something more specific, because people have this conception that just because I put down, what I call micro goals, like lose 30 pounds in 30 days or reach $1 million, those aren't your dreams. Those aren't your macro life goals. And until I really discovered what a dream board really can be, or commonly known as a vision board, I then realized that what I was doing was totally wrong.
Okay. So how does a dream board work?
So you put down on our site, describe your perfect 10 moment. And then you then put a picture that represents that perfect 10 moment. And then, this is the most important part, you put an intention. You see, without having an intention behind that dream, it's just some fictorial dream. But if you have an intention saying, I am living in this house, or I am married to this woman, or I am at the best health.
So imagine yourself already having achieved it.
Because when you have that state of mind,
at
least for me in my life, I've always achieved success when I have that state of mind. Like I knew coming into this interview, I said, I'm going to give you the best interview you've ever heard about dream boards. So I'm in that mindset. Whether you are a dream board expert or you've never heard of dream boards, that's the intention I have as an example.
Okay. So without the intention behind it, it's just a pretty picture.
Just a pretty picture with a dream. And what's cool about our site is that with that pictorial dream, when you hover over the picture, the intention shows up.
Okay.
So it reminds you to get in that mindset.
Okay. So there are people who think positive psychology and self-talk can be nothing more than delusional and maybe doesn't work. What can you tell us from your experience, because since you're the largest online community for people with dream boards, what's your community telling you about the hidden power that's really underneath this type of business practice?
Sure. So like anything, there's always abuse of it and there's always proper use of it. So the abuse is just thinking, okay, I'm positive, bring it to me.
Yeah, I'm really positive. I'm really positive, yeah.
The proper use is to use positive self-help content to get you in that mindset and then take what I called inspired actions. So the reason why a dream board, again, is so helpful is because when you know your macro dreams and goals, you're going to take the smart actions.
Okay.
That is when you can use the self-help positive stuff to help you achieve things.
We're talking with Ash Kumra. He is co-founder of DreamItAlive.com. So, Ash, your suggestion is that the dream and the purposeful intent will lead you to the correct actions that will ultimately allow you to realize your dream.
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
So it's actually like many of our business leaders who do a strategic plan.
Yes.
Start with the end in mind.
Yes.
And work back in the steps that I have to get there in my 3 or 5 year revenue goals, the hard business things that they do. What I'm hearing you say is it really is allowing you to take smart action.
Yes.
That is the real power?
Yes, and and putting my entrepreneur hat on, because I actually co-founded one of the largest entrepreneur nonprofits in Orange County. Without having a vision or a dream and inspired actions, entrepreneurs are just going to get lost. I think too many entrepreneurs focus on the 30-day, how do I sell or how do I flip this company versus what is the dream behind this? What is the mission behind this?
What's your why, maybe?
What's your why? Simon Sinek, that whole why thing.
Does that tie to this?
I would say so. Simon Sinek is probably one of the best orators of how focusing on dreams and intentions to the end customer can make anything happen, yes.
So I'm talking with Ash Kumra. He is co-founder of DreamItAlive.com. We're talking about dream boards. Some of you may know them as vision boards. Dream board, I think I agree, is a much more inspiring term and more aspirational. I had my community of CEOs that come to my peer groups watch the TED Talk where Simon and his book, Start With Why, Finding Your Why, and coincidentally to that event, I had discovered my why is to have a lasting positive impact in the lives of the people that I work with. That's my goal, right? That's my why. And I said it to my group, and it was all, because we all did the practice of coming up with our why. Coincident with that, I had moved, and I was unpacking some boxes that were work boxes from when I had a job in the late 90s, 98, 99, that kind of time frame. And I came across a piece of wood, and I had gone to several Tony Robbins events.
Yeah.
And Tony, on one side, had you write your vision, your reason, and on the other side, the limiting things that were preventing you from doing that. And then with a karate move, you broke the board to symbolically say you're breaking through the limiting things so that you can achieve the things on the other side. And I was going to throw it away. I put the board together, and I hadn't remembered this, but it said to have a lasting positive impact on people's lives. So what I had done, and this was in 2011 or 12, this was in 1999 that I wrote it. So literally, I subconsciously moved myself out of a corporate world into this job where I could realize that goal full time. So I don't know why I got on that tangent, but I'm just saying I think I believe that if you commit yourself to a goal and you inspire and are inspired by it, you will take intelligent action to get there. Maybe not always consciously, though.
Can I give my take on why you said that story, which is a very amazing story, by the way?
I'm the host, and I'm saying no, you can't. Okay. No, of course you can. I'd love you to.
This kind of goes back to what I had mentioned about my co-founder, is that when you set the intention of finding like-minded energy, not only do you reach for it, but you get a high off of it. So my conversation has naturally brought a high in life into you, because it brings back those times when you were in your early dreaming days, and now you're at a whole new level, and now you're like, wow, I remember those days when I was dreaming of being a radio show host or being a successful business owner, entrepreneur. So that's what happens. That's why inspired action is so important, because you get inspired from other people.
I'm talking with Ash Kumra. He is co-founder of DreamItAlive.com. Do you find also from your community online that by the action of putting a dream board together, of taking intelligent action, strategic action against that, and then verbalizing it, not being afraid to talk about what your dreams, because that's one of the things that I tell my business. If you have a goal, a strategic goal, share it, because you never know who might come to help you. The world will conspire to help you if you just tell them what you want to get done.
So you're diving into another market opportunity, which we are doing, but it's a bigger opportunity across the world, which is this whole mindfulness revolution that's happening right now. If you look at the most successful CEOs, Arianna Huffington, if you look at Richard Branson, you look at Michael Phelps, they not only visualize, but they also do meditation. And part of meditation is also the mantra side, which is, I am this, I am going to be successful, I am this. Tony Robbins is a big metaphor on mantras. So, yes to all your questions there.
Right. And because I find that people will help you if they know what you want to get done and why you want to get it done.
Because if they don't know, then how are you going to get help?
Right. How many times I say, geez, I wish I would have known. I know somebody who can, right? And sometimes those magic of those connections lead you so much, bring you to the goal so much more quickly, right? And so don't be afraid to tell people about what you want to get done.
Yeah.
And I think a dream board is a manifestation of that, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So where are you going with the firm?
You know what? We have a mission to help the world become the best version of themselves.
Wow.
That's our bigger goal.
Wow.
But on
it's a pretty big goal.
Thank you. But on a very tangible, strategic quarterly goal, we actually are now launching a Dreamboard platform for the youth, K through 12.
Okay.
Because think about this. If every kid did a dream board, and that every parent, teacher, or mentor sees their kids' dreams and goals, wouldn't the world just be a better place? Wouldn't our future, our next generation, just have a better leg up on their shoulder?
Right. I love the term you said, I think a better version of yourself. Or I'm paraphrasing now, but that's what I heard you say.
Yes.
And how many times in our life is there a chance where we get to be reflective and we do see ourselves in a way that's a better version of ourselves, and then I do this with strategic planning, because I think I tell that to the CEOs that I lead through strategic planning. When you're after a couple-day retreat where you're all excited about the future and the actions that get you there, you're a better version of your strategic self than when you get back to work on Monday morning and all the rigors of the job just take the wind out of your strategic self. You have to protect that version of yourself, because sometimes the reality of the business will grind you down and won't let you get there.
Yeah. Well said. I couldn't have said it better.
Okay. So I'm talking with Ash Kumra, and I took his words right out of his mouth and I gave them back to him. So that's what's great about this Critical Mass radio show. I'm your host, Rick Franzi. I think that there are people who want to connect with you and can find you without you being physically present with them. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
I mean, I'm getting a little bit of a gray area here, but I do think there is a certain energy that maybe is bigger than we in this stage in our evolution have understood.
I mean, that's why people are so drawn to leaders, inspiring figures, like our president. You know, I got to hear him speak, even though I didn't hear him speak. If he spoke on radio, I'd still feel like I'm connected to him, as an example.
Right. And leaders who are able to articulate a core belief that is integrated with their business is a very powerful engine for growth, right?
Huge.
Right. And I think millennials and the next workforce is looking for something more than just a business. And
they're looking for social impact.
Right.
Yeah.
Meaning.
Right?
And so to take, I believe in Gallup's Strength Finders.
I know what that is, yeah.
Okay. Which basically says you have more capacity for growth to enhance your strengths than to manage to work on your weaknesses. And in the corporate world, many times we believe the best thing we can do for you as our employees is find your skills gap and then train you up on the things that you're not good at, because that's where your greatest room for improvement is. Gallup's research suggests it's the exact opposite. Find the things that you're naturally gifted at and enhance those, and you'll be much more productive. And it starts with children. Your child comes home with 3 A's and 3 C's. Where do we talk to our child about the A's or the C's?
Yeah.
Right? And in the A's, maybe the seeds of greatness.
Wow.
And how many times do children have dreams that we beat out of them because for whatever reason we want to protect them, right? Oh, honey, don't think you can't get into acting. You can't be an astronaut. You can't, right?
Yeah.
And I would think a dream board gives you a chance to really redefine reality for those people.
It does.
So how are you going to be taking that into younger children then?
A couple ways. One is we want this to help people connect with mentors. So we have a thing called Mentor Match. So if your dream is to become a basketball player, we want to be able to send that data to the parents and then say, oh, Nike, by the way, has a local scholarship opportunity. A kid wants to go on his first field trip to like Italy. He can send out a feature. We have a feature called Dream Fund. So he can send that out to his friends and family. People can fund that dream. All these guidance tools that say, yes, we support your dreams. Tell us about it, and we're going to help you any way we can.
Wow. This is amazing. Can you stay for one more segment?
I'm as long as you want.
Okay. We're going to take a break. My engineer is giving me the time to take a break. So we want to respect our sponsors, and so we'll be right back after these words from our commercial sponsors with Ash Kumra, co-founder of DreamItAlive.com.
Are you looking for your successor? Someone as dedicated and experienced in their field as you? Executives Unlimited delivers the top executive talent you need for your company's long-term success. 98% of our clients re-engage us for additional hires, and over 90% of the executives placed by us since 2007 are still in their positions or have been promoted. That's twice the industry's average retention rate. How do we do this? Dedication. Executives Unlimited believe success isn't success until it's long-term. Call us to invest in your long-term success. 562-627-3800 or visit us at executivesunlimited.com. Let our long-term success leverage yours.
Wow. Marketing predictions are out for 2015, and marketing success is changing. Did you know that Google is now actively tracking your business and personal brand and online reputation? Online and offline marketing has changed. Google is driving more than 85% of your traffic. And if your brand is inconsistent or has poor mobile usability, your rankings and traffic can suffer in 2015. To learn how your business is currently viewed and what can be done to improve your brand's visibility and authority, contact SunUp Group for a free marketing analysis. It could be a business game changer. Visit www.sunupgroup.com today or call 877-609-3840, extension 700.
Today's businesses are embracing voice-over IP telephones and unified communication desktop technologies to more effectively communicate and collaborate with their customers, suppliers, and colleagues. The ReliaTel management software from Tone Software Corporation helps organizations of all sizes manage their communications technologies to ensure great voice quality and better levels of service and reliability throughout their business. Through ReliaTel, you'll gain higher return on investments from VoIP and unified communications technologies while lowering the associated operational support and maintenance costs. Learn more. Visit www.tonesoft.com or call 800-833-8663 for information on ReliaTel by Tone Software, the solution for quality business communications.
Welcome back to this edition of Critical Mass Radio Show. I am your host, Rick Franzi. Ash Kumra is our guest. He's co-founder of DreamItAlive.com, and I've asked him to stay for a third segment here on the radio show today because I'm fascinated by the work that he's doing and the belief system that he has and the positive work and impact that he can have on the community. You know, one of the things that we've been asking guests here for a number of years, Ash, on the radio show is, I call it your guiding principle. In other words, your overarching philosophy, your business view on the world, the way that you choose to build, the piece of you that you bring to each of your entrepreneurial efforts that kind of is consistent. And so we ask you to share your guiding principle with our audience.
So I thank you for that. I love answering this question. My version of my answer to you is this: work on a business to fulfill a passion, not to fulfill a trend. Really simple example. Let's say you want to build a social network for, let's say, the African American community. And if someone asks you, well, why would you want to do the African American community? Well, they spend a lot of money. You know, they do this. Certain things.
They have this need.
But I'm not even African American, nor do I know anything about the culture. That's doing out a trend. I'm serious. There's people who do these Me Too businesses just to copy a trend. But if you do a business based on a passion, you would say, listen, I've worked in the community. I see a real need for it. There's an opportunity. Facebook does not handle the African American community's needs properly, so there's a need to do this African American focused social network. That's a passion. And almost every time the most successful businesses across any industry are based off building off a passion, never for a trend. One last thing on that. When you do a business based on a trend, the moment things go down, you get emotionally attached to it and you want to leave the opportunity. But if it's on a passion, you do something called pivoting, or you learn from it and you figure out a way to make it better.
Excellent. Ash Kumar is our guest, and thank you for sharing that with us. You know, as you're describing that, I'm thinking of this exercise sometimes that some companies go through where they're imagining their ideal client, and they build a psychographic, and they give this personality to this individual, and while I applaud the fact that they're personalizing who their consumer is or who their customer is, sometimes I feel like it's an artifice. It's artificial. If you don't know in your gut who your core customer is because you know them, I think it's risky to try to create this Play-Doh version of this person because you may not really understand that individual. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It ought to come out of you just naturally, right? It clearly as an entrepreneur, but I think as a CEO of a company, if you ever lose that core understanding of who your most valuable customer is, then you need to get back out in the field and spend some time with your marketplace, because I think you're going to make decisions that may be counter to their interests.
Well said.
All right. Ash Kumar is our guest, and we're talking about his firm, DreamItAlive.com. And so I was going to say, how does someone find your website? And that seems kind of foolish after I just said DreamItAlive.com. Yeah. So I'm going to DreamItAlive.com. There's people out there right now who are listening to this podcast off iTunes and say, oh, hell, I'm going to check this out. Yeah. What are they finding? What are they seeing?
Couple things. One is more information on why Dreamboards help your life. Number two is a free membership to just become a member and create your own dream board. And lastly, if you're interested in whatever you decide to create and you want a wall version to hang on your wall, you can order what we call Dreamboard wall art, which is a representation of your online dream board hung on your wall.
So, sometimes people don't take the first step towards this because
they're scared.
Head trash is a bad thing, right?
I know what you're saying.
They're afraid that they're going to do it and they're going to fail.
So we have a private feature, so people don't have to see your dreams and goals if they don't feel confident sharing them, which is totally fine.
Right.
And we at DreamItAlive.com don't even see them. So I don't even know what those dreams are. I don't have the ability to see your dream board if it's private.
Okay. And that might be a good way to get your confidence up and get comfortable with the concept.
Totally understand that.
Right. And again, for the people out there who hear this conversation and go, this is too out there for me, how do we help them? I think a lot of brain research is coming to the realization that what we historically thought as the soft skills in business are actually very scientifically valid now that we can start to measure the human emotion and the brain reaction to stimulus. So I think things that were the soft sciences are becoming the hard science of business because we can now give you data and information to validate it. But how would you help someone who's a little more rigorous in their approach to using a dream board to communicate their vision for their future.
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
I would say two answers. One is, on the scientific research end, it has been scientifically proven that whatever you focus on your subconscious and you put it down and you visualize it, you will achieve it. Harvard Medical School has validated this. Numerous authors, scientists have validated this. On a specific tool set end, a dream board is a better version of a goal setting tool. Everyone has goal setting tools. Why not use one of the best goal setting tools that many successful people, athletes, celebrities have used to make themselves successful? So if they've used success and you have that same tool, why wouldn't you do it?
Why wouldn't you do it? Right. I had a managing partner from a private equity firm here in Orange County come in and speak to my CEO peer group, and one of the things that he said was an absolute game changer for businesses that he's observed, because he invests in and he gets a lot of offers and requests. He said, is a business plan. A 3 to 5 year business. He said it's an absolute game changer because it focuses your resources, it helps your decision making, and he went through this litany of all the good things you get from having a plan. I think you could say a dream board.
A dream board is a living business plan. It's a living life plan, and it incorporates the business, the life, and everything. So yes, agreed.
Right. And again, maybe I'm going in an area, and I'm talking to Ash Kumra. He is co-founder of DreamItAlive.com. People who tend to gravitate towards negative thinking, I think sometimes can attract more of what they're focused on.
Yep.
So it wouldn't be well served to focus on that if you don't want any more of that.
Well said.
You should be focusing on the future.
The future.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
So when people come to DreamItAlive.com, are there any special places you want them to go? Is there information about you, meet the founders, anything, any background?
Yeah, one of the things that we do too is we have a lot of helpful content, both from our own editorial team and also from outside interviews we've done with successful dreamers that have made it. And that is free, and you don't even have to be a member to see them.
Okay.
We put those out there. So if you go to our site and you hover down, they'll have article section. Read those articles. They'll make your day better.
Is Orange County a good place for this type of business to get started?
I think any place is a good place to get this started.
Okay.
I don't really think like that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be short. I don't mean to come off short. I just don't think. I think when you limit yourself with things that are out of your control. Oh, Orange County might lack this. You create your destiny.
Okay. But you mentioned Mark Victor Hansen. Is that right?
Jack Canfield.
Jack Canfield. Hey, get him confused. Sorry. You mentioned Jack Canfield.
Yeah.
He's Orange County president, right? Southern California. So I just think. I have a bias that says Southern California is a good place for this.
Oh, I can answer that. I thought you were talking about the negative side. Oh, no. In terms of positive, yes. I think Southern California is hands down one of the best places to do a business. A, because of diversity. B, many of the trends are created here. And C, sun.
I was just going to say that, right? Look outside.
How could you have a crappy day with this kind of weather?
Right. And when I grew up back east, and I'm used to what winter can be. You're right. You have much more. I think you have more opportunity when the weather is like this than when you're shut in.
Okay.
And I think it brings you. I can bring you down in a way if you're not careful when the weather isn't giving you the chance to be outside and to be getting vitamin D and doing things that maybe you would rather do. So I think Southern California is a vibrant place to build businesses like this. And where did you start your business?
Where did we start? We started in Orange County.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you start with any incubators or any?
No, we self-funded it. Fortunately, myself and my two co-founders have had successful entrepreneur ventures, so we kind of knew along the way some of the initial things you need. But I do recommend accelerators, incubators for people that are lacking either those right co-founders, resources, or need that hands-on mentorship. They're such a boon.
Or just simply the community of other like-minded individuals.
We call them like-minded dreamers.
Okay, like-minded dreamers, right? Because you're in that culture. You're in that place where you can celebrate minor wins and successes as well.
Yeah.
So there are a number of very good incubators here in Southern California, Orange County in particular.
Yeah.
And I would suggest anybody as an entrepreneur consider it. We've had Michael Saywitz from Fast Start Studios come on.
Guy.
It's just
one of the
biggest
example. Hearts you'll ever meet.
Right. And what a great business model, and what a genuine person who's discovered his why. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts, Ash Kumar? Anything else that we haven't talked about here on Critical Mass about DreamItAlive.com?
You know what? I like what you said about, some people are unsure or they have questions about the Dreamboard. I'd love to make myself available for any of your users. So if they send me an email, ash@DreamItAlive.com, Not only will I take a look at their Dreamboard profile, give them suggestions, I'll send them a free ebook copy of my first book, a best-selling copy, Confessions from an Entrepreneur.
Well, that was very generous of you. Thank you. And the website, again, is DreamItAlive.com. I want to thank you for giving a little bit of what you know in this area and creating a business that's helping so many others, people to realize and achieve their dreams.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Keep doing the great work.
Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to end this show and move on to something else here on an afternoon. I appreciate you listening to us either live on octalkradio.net or as a podcast. Our show has been brought to you by Center Club, Community Bank, Decision Toolbox, Executive Unlimited, MBN Design, SNH Rubber, Strategic Market Intelligence, Sunup Group, T & Company, Tone Software, Turn Up the Volume, and UPS Protection. Until the next show, I'd like to say I hope that all of your decisions move your business in a positive direction.
You have been listening to Critical Mass Radio Show Business Talk Show, focused on exploring topics of interest to CEOs who are leading middle market companies.